Hi folks, I just got a rumor about a possible good news. It's still not 100% confirmed, but I think it's likely to happen. As you know, back in November when Sony launched the A9 III, they finally pre-announced a major firmware update for the A1 and the A7S III, and on that event they say that this firmware update would be coming in March or later. According to my latest info, we might get the firmware much sooner than expected. Actually, one source claims to know that the Sony A1 firmware will be announced and released on February the 10th, so basically in 2-3 weeks from now. So this is very good news if it's going to happen. The source didn't mention the A7S III firmware update, so I don't know if that is coming on February the 10th too. But all I can tell you is that there will be a ton of features. That's what I've been told by various sources. So not only the three main features they announced back in November, the breathing conversation, the IPTC workflow, the FTP workflow, the C2PA format support, but there will be many more, some also very advanced features very needed for the A1 owners and the A7S III owners. So fingers crossed, also this A7S III firmware will be coming on February 10th. And what else can I tell you about the firmware strategy? Yes, Sony, as you know, got the message. They have to be consistently improving the cameras that we already own. So we're getting the FX3, FX30 firmware update and the FX6 firmware update sometimes in September, which is 10 months from now. I hope it will be anticipated to August or July. And I suspect that we will also get major firmware updates for other alpha cameras like the A7R5, the A7 IV, the A6700. I think that there might be a good chance that at the CP Plus show or in spring, Sony will announce that there will be a firmware update, a major firmware update coming for those cameras too. That's just a guess, not a rumor, but I have the feeling from what I got from the sources that Sony got the message and they want to make the current camera owners happy by adding some features that are needed. The only bad news in this is that if we're getting major firmware updates for the A1, the A7S III and also the FX3, FX30, then I think it's unlikely we are getting a successor of those cameras very soon. As you know, I still didn't get confirmation about the A7S IV when it will be announced, because on paper this is the oldest alpha full-frame camera in the lineup. So there should be an update of this camera this year. Usually that's when, after 4 years, when Sony will update the camera, but I think the A7S IV is more likely to be announced the second half of the year, so we are getting the firmware updates probably on February 10th for the A7S III. And then it makes sense that the A7S IV will not be announced in spring, but later, summer or September, October. The A1 II, at best we're getting it on November 2024, more likely early 2025, while I didn't get anything about the A7 V, so I guess this camera will be launched sometimes mid-end 2025. To wrap it up, we are getting likely a firmware update on the A1 on February 10th. I still don't know if the A7S III firmware update will be announced on the very same day, probably, but I have got no confirmation. We are likely getting for the CP Plus show as major news that firmware update, the 1625 2.8 and then 24 50mm 2.8. And I'm still not sure about the ZV E10 II. I know it's coming in springtime, but I don't know if it will be announced right before the CP Plus show or in March and April. Regarding other news, I'm working on other rumors. One super exciting wow rumor that I already talked to in my previous video that I want to get the confirmation before I share it. Also another very nice rumor, so not a super wow, but something that will make happy every alpha camera owner. Then there are rumors about the 85 GM definitely coming. I don't know when the announcement will happen. Also probably March, April, May, because the lens, I've been told, will be in stock before summer starts. So I expect the time frame to be that of the announcement to be spring. And I also got rumors about the new FX camera and other lenses, and about that I will talk in my next video. So please, again, first of all, like this video as usual to help me in the YouTube algorithm, and then subscribe if you don't want to miss any of the upcoming rumors. See you soon, folks.